we have this voracious Great Shark just come down and finish the game. So go ahead, Extinction, Event Me, Padre. So, Great Shark coming up, they play the land, we play the Great Shark. The dead. Thought you was gonna play Nissa, didn't you? So like I care more about keeping this off the table, so we get this Ambusher down, they can't counter it anyways. Oof. 8th their guts, hitting home. Opponent with the nice and the GG, you love to see that. How's it going, y'all? Titan Fan 920 and today we're back at some more MTGA standard action. This time we'll be playing a little bit of Simic Flash and standard. Before I start, just a little bit of news here. We're getting close to hitting 2,000 subscribers from the channel, which is sweet! So to celebrate that, I'm going to be doing another giveaway. We did the Collector Booster Pack last time, and that was pretty fun. Our friend Brandon won that one down in Texas. So for this one, we're going a little bit bigger. We're doing a core set, 21 bucks. So for the brand new set coming up, a booster box of that pack. So if you want to enter it, down below in the link, and it'll be in all my videos until it's, we hit 2,000. Have a little sign-up sheet on Google Forms. Just answer 3 questions. You're entered to win. It's got to be U.S. only. Can't do the international shipping right now with it. But enter to win that. Just tell me your name, your address, and then why you watch the channel, basically. Got to be a subscriber, though. So anybody who's not subscribed already, smash or just politely press that like button and subscribe. But if you're not a subscriber, you can't win. So that's part of that. Anyway, we're playing Simic Flash this time. This is from our friend, The Real Killadub. If anybody doesn't know him on Twitch, he streams quite a bit. Always playing Flash, one of the better Flash players out there. This is mostly his list. I made a few slight changes to it, but he's great at this, and you know he was running really hot. I think he said he went like undefeated in Platinum with this to get to Diamond. So figured I'd try it out since we're in Platinum as well. Basically the typical stuff you expect. The things I don't really know about the deck personally. I'm not a huge fan of Wildborn Preserver, and Great Shark is like a feel bad card in a lot of matchups, but sometimes it feels fantastic. I think what I changed was there were like, I think the missiles fuse were maybe the main board, and there was no sabotage, so I switched those around. But otherwise, I'm running this. So let's take this into ranked, see how it goes, see if we can flash on some fools. Let's go. All right, first game of the day here is against Goddelicious, because their body is too Goddelicious for us, babe. I wonder if this is Brian Gottlieb, actually. I think it kind of makes sense, right? We'll be on the draw here, a little bit of Simic Flash. Open on hand, not too shabby. Got this tempo we can play on 1, multiple things to do on turn 2, potential turn 3 Nightpack Ambusher, we'll take it. Playing a little bit of Yorion, so always want to smack down some Yorion. They'll play some Cheville. Cheville's a card I've not really seen anybody play too much. I've seen John Roberts play it in one of his videos, and it was actually surprisingly good there. So, first time going against it here in person, actually. It's a neat card, just one that hasn't really seen play, so curious to see how this card does. They play their Birth of Melitus here. Play a Godless Shrine tapped. Swing in there for 1. In a turn, we'll go ahead and Grow Spiral. That way we can throw this Temple of Mystery down, which is a good get off of that. And then this next turn, we have the option of Grow Spiral into Brazen or Brian Board Cut Through. We can Petty Theft something. We can Nightpack Ambusher. You'll love to see it. Now, we're not going to be blocking that Cheville with this Nightpack Ambusher, though, that's for sure. See what the opponent does here. Unsure what they're played against also. Like, we have Abzan, Yorion, kind of strange. Doom, Foretold. You would think with all the counter magic we have in this deck, we'd have a way to stop that here, but no such luck for us. So we have the option, we can either let this kind of stay here, let it resolve and all that kind of stuff, and just let them get the value off of it. We have a land we can discard, so it's not too bad, or we can try to fight through it. So let's see what we do here. Play a little Brineborn Cutthroat. And then grow it. Grow it with this Petty Theft. Because we keep drawing things to play down anyway, so we have multiple creatures we can play. With this 5 mana here, we can Nightpack Ambusher. We can also Cutthroat again and play Brazen Borrower. But again, just for me not being playing this deck before, it's kind of unsure of how I'm supposed to play it. And I kind of goofed here. I could have just left that Doom Foretold on the battlefield this last turn. And bounce their artifact. But, I mean, for now, we're getting a clock on them, we're doing things. So here we go ahead and play the Cutthroat, and then play the Brazen Borrower. So this way I have all my creatures can attack through this. We can sacrifice something here. Make the decision to sack this Brineborn Cutthroat that's a 3-2. I'm not sure if that's the right play, honestly. Knowing the power of Cheville and how much value it can get you, I should probably just be forcing the swings on their face there. But it would have been chump blocked by that wall anyway, so it wouldn't have really mattered. Luckily, we hold back because they have no choice but to sack the Cheville here. So, Cheville down. Hopefully they just try to play some kind of creature we can counter here, and we'll be in alright shape. They play on their Cheville, and luckily that's target for Great Shark, so we definitely counter there. And unfortunately, they have a Treacherous Blessing to follow that up with, which is pretty rough for us. That lets them refill their hand, get some good value off there, and it's a great sack target for Doom Foretold. So, the Quench coming in a turn too late here. I would have loved to just be able to quench something instead. But it is what it is. So we'll get in there, hit him for 5, get him down to 12. Opponent pass a turn here. Now I'm hoping they play something expensive here, so that way this Quench will be online. The good news is I feel like these kind of matches are pretty easy to sideboard against no matter what. So sack time for them, easy choice, sacking the Treacherous Blessing. Let's see what they got for us here. Play a Fabled Passage, play a Vraska. Unfortunately, they got 3 mana open. Now one thing I could do is Growth Spiral and see if we could quench it, but even then, if we do that, that's essentially 3 cards for that one Vraska. That just doesn't seem like enough. Now perhaps that was the wrong move. So we'll Growth Spiral here. And just like I was saying, the worst thing that could happen here, we draw the other Quench. Would it have been worth it to do that? Maybe. Because that's basically, I mean, it feels like it's a 3-for-1, but that's also making them sack their Doom Foretold. So perhaps, perhaps that's a bad move. But these kind of decks also play things like Omen of the Sun, so it may not even matter in the first place anyways. Either way, we'll throw down Nightpack Ambusher, and just like I was saying, they got that Omen of the Sun, so that makes us feel a little bit better about the decision now. We would have felt pretty bad otherwise. Though I guess they would have paid for it, so I don't know. Maybe we just misplayed this. It's a weird deck to play against in game 1. When that Doom Foretold gets down, you kind of just don't have a lot of answers. Draw a Fabled Passage here, so not much going for us here. Try to attack the Vraska here and see what we got going on. Easy chumperoonies for the opponent. And unfortunately, where it's non-token creatures, our wolves here don't do anything. Because it'd be nice to just let them have wolves all day and do that, but that's not how this works. So opponent, waiting on the Doom Foretold trigger, sacks Omen of the Sun. They were hovering over that Vraska. I thought they might sack that Vraska for a second. That would have been pretty fun. We still have two Quench held up. Opponent has 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. If they have one more, they could get Yorion and play it. Instead, we got to do the double Quench thing now, which just feels terrible. But we do it. Now opponent's looking at that Vraska. They tick it up, shoot a land, wha-bam. So a Petty Theft here would be our best draw. We could bounce that token, kill the Vraska, get the swing in, and then that Doom Foretold would hopefully be out of the way. We draw another Nightpack Ambusher, which isn't the worst draw in the world. Now I shouldn't have even tried to attack that Vraska because it can't be sacked anyway. And getting it down to 1 doesn't really do anything here. So it was a bad attack on my end, but luckily they blocked anyway. So here, sacking the Vraska unless they got another instant speed Omen of the Sun. We'll see. They don't. So, board's clear again, but they have 5 cards in hand. That Treacherous Blessing was just such a beating. They were able to refuel pretty nicely there. You hate to see it. Omen of the Sun. Nothing we can do here. I can make my wolf token a 3/3, but that don't do a thing. And at this point, I realize I'm pretty much just dead. I can flash in the Nightpack Ambusher in turn and then just sack it, but that doesn't do anything. And they got into the Doom Foretold, so at this point, we're pretty much done. Might as well we can play that out. Doesn't matter. Let's let them have their triggers here. Go ahead. Go to the next game. Womp, womp, womp. Like I was saying, though, even though this is a hard matchup in the first game because it's kind of different, I feel like it's one of those things you can sideboard against pretty easily. So we throw our negates in there, take out our Great Shark, so the only creature they have is Cheville, for non-token creature anyways. Gotta take out one more card here. Kind of tough. Take out the Cunning Nightbonder because the counterpart of that doesn't really mean too much. And making the stuff cheaper is nice, but I think it's not as important here. So we'll take the play here. Opener, pretty sweet. Now this is post-commentary, obviously, so you'll see the little edits here where the opponents were playing a bit slower thinking. That's fine. So here, we hold up Negate or Growth Spiral. Or Preserver, but like we're not going to play Preserver. We're playing Growth Spiral if we can. This opponent just plays a tap land, passes the turn. We play the Growth Spiral. Play a Temple of Mystery. Castle V, no can do, because we got 4 lands already. So now we've got some good plays. We got Sinister Sabotage ready to go. We have Negate. When we have all these kind of 2 things, we can Brazen Cutthroat and then Negate would be the best thing to do. But let's see what they got here. Nothing. Don't really care about both of these living. So I'm down to play one of these, and I know I could hold on Negate in case they had removal spell. Instead, I'm just going to throw this other Cutthroat down. If they got removal, they got removal. Omen of the Sun, that doesn't matter. That's going to hold us back a little bit on our attacks, but we have 2 Cutthroats. Now, unfortunately, we don't draw land number 5 here, but again, it's not a huge deal right now. Land 5 would allow us to have Sinister Sabotage and Negate held up, which would be pretty sweet, but... And since we're the aggressor and we really want to grill these Cutthroats, we can start attacking. I'm going to play this Nightbonder. We still have Negate held up, but I also have Wildborn Preserver. I feel like at this point, again, Simic Flash, the aggressor. You love to see it. Go ahead and just play Wildborn Preserver. So now they have 4 tokens here. No land once again, but we do have 3 counter spells. Decide to send the big Cutthroat in. If they want a quadruple block here just to trade, I'm totally down with that. They start going for it, then they think otherwise, and just chump it. That's fine. At least now we have counter magic held up. We have our creatures starting to grow out of range with this, where their blocks get pretty bad. So they play an ECD. Should have probably went the Sabotage actually, just to scry and try to find a land. That way the next turn I could hold up both counter spells. So looking back on it, that's a misplay on my part. But Sinister Sabotage is a more versatile counter spell, so having that there is pretty good. I'm a coward, only attack with 2 things, but it's still swinging for 11 right here. Curious to see if they want to chump block. Not sure why they would trump with 1 of those but not 2, but they take 5 damage and go to 19 here. Again, we got 2 Sabotage hit ready to go. And luckily, one good thing about playing against Abzan is they don't really have big time answers for you with stuff, so counter there. And Nightpack Ambusher is a very, very good boy. So opponent cracks Fabled Passage, gets him a Swamp, and no mana to counter Cheville this time, which is pretty frustrating because we saw the value that I can get from last game, and now it holds their Nightpack Ambusher and our Cunning Nightbonder back. I could attack in with the Preserver, and grow it, but that doesn't seem super good either. But we've seen the value this Cheville can get, so I'm just going to swing in, offer trades. Again, they just jump with 1 thing. I'm not sure why they keep leaving 1 back. So they'll put a counter on our Wildborn Cutthroat Homecrying. Agonizing Remorse. Well, I don't want them taking either one of these things. So I decided to counter it for now. That way I can still hold onto my Ambusher for the next turn. This leaves us open to removal if they have it. But we're growing our stuff so fast, it may not matter. Frilled Mystic, not a bad one to see off the top there. Having a creature that can attack through Cheville and counter something is sweet. They play the Mythos. Gain 3 life and draw a card. Value City. This is what I was saying. Even though I've not got to play against Cheville very much, it does seem like a pretty sweet card and can get you a lot of value. Now, I think one thing I could have done was start swinging in the Wildborn Preserver here. I don't really care if they blink stuff. But at this point, if they play Yorion and blink the Omen of the Suns, that is 4 different creatures to come down, and that's pretty annoying. So we swing for 7 here. Looking like Chump Block City once again. Luckily, that is the last of the tokens. They made them last, I'll give them that. They put a bounty counter on the Wildborn Preserver. Noxious Grasp, as much as I'd love to counter that, I feel like that last card in their hand might be just something better. So if we lose this Preserver, it is what it is. Now they do gain 3 more life and draw a card, so again, the Cheville's are kind of going out of control here. But it is what it is. They play Urban Utopia here, whatever. They're drawing a bunch of cards, and it's pretty annoying. Play the temple. So maybe I was supposed to count it Noxious Grass. Like maybe they didn't have anything else left, and that was the last ditch effort to draw something. But I mean, we have these good answers right now. They end the turn by putting Yorion into hand, so we can easily put the Nightpack Ambusher down. Drop a Fabled Passage here. Debate on sending the Ambusher in there, but it does just gain so much value to make Wolves to attack through Cheville that I figure we can wait. So swing down and get them to 8. You love to see it. Put a counter on our Nightpack Ambusher here. We're in a weird spot because they have removal, so they have another Noxious Grass. They're finding all of our sideboard cards here. If we counter this, Nightpack Ambusher does live, but we can't counter Yorion. So again, this Cheville's gained them 9 life and drawn them 3 cards. Very hard to play around. Here, Yorion's a pretty easy counter though. And this Frilled Mystic can't attack through Cheville. And they're probably getting to the point now where even though they've got a lot of value off that, they need to start blocking this Cutthroat. So, Sabotage off the top, a great draw. So we'll swing for 12 here. They finally decide they've had enough of this Cutthroat hitting them. So we'll get them down to 13. Cheville finally dead. We have the Sabotage for whatever they play. Upkeep, Sack Omen, Scry. Big old Scry babies. They bottom 2 there, which we like. So draw, let's see what they got here. Doom Foretold. I think not. Now this last card could be a removal spell they have. Go ahead and bottom that. I could crack my Fabled Passage now, just to thin the deck out, but since I just bottomed that land, it doesn't make sense. So now we'll crack it. Probably should have done that before I countered, honestly, but it is what it is. Here we swing in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get them down to 6. And we have a pretty good draw here in this Brazen Borrower. We can bounce something and flash it in into turn. So if they play something like a Doom Foretold or any kind of blocker, not a big deal. So I think we're in a good spot here. Let's see what they do. Scry 2 cards to the top. Okay. Better been good ones. At this point, I'm just hoping they play some kind of permanent that I can bounce. If not, I can bounce the Urban Utopia. But I think I honestly forgot about that, so I just ended up playing it on his face, which is fine. We have a lot of power in the air, and those annoying little rascals. Frilled Mystic, a fantastic draw. Can't quite kill them now where they gain that life. I'm going to go ahead and swing into everything. If they want to double block one of these creatures and kill it, that's fine. They're still taking 7. That's what they do. So they go to 1 here. Anything else, opponent? Anything else? In turn here, they sack the Omen. So they scrap 2 more to the top here. They're in top deck mode. We got the Frilled Mystic. We're feeling pretty good. And they concede. GG, let's go to game 3 here. No sideboard changes for us, so we're right back at game 3 against Godlicious. Sorry, I don't want to get copyright struck there. This opener actually fine. We can turn 1 Fabled Passage here to grab a forest, since we don't have any in hand. A little bit awkward with that Cunning Nightbonder, but I think that's still the way to go. Or not. Or not. So I guess here I'm holding up the fact that maybe I can play the Nightbonder, and then if we just have to draw in 1 more land, and we can have that forest come down later. So I guess that's probably the right call, actually. So opponent ramping away. Here, don't need the forest yet, so we can hold up Nightbonder, Cutthroat, and Negate. So it'll be Nightbonder and Negate. Let's just see what they do here. Hoping they play something we can counter. No such luck, so we'll play the Nightbonder. If they want to spend removal on it, they can Noxious Grasp it, they can Mythos, do whatever they want. Not a big deal if this gets killed. Mythos it is. And I forgot, the Urban Utopia doesn't ramp you, it just color fixes you. So, that's that. Draw this time. Not too bad in the Frilled Mystic. We're setting up pretty nicely here now, because we've got counter spells for days. They play the Doom Foretold. Deciding if I should play Sabotage and Negate here. Decide to go with the cheaper option. Again, that Sabotage, even though it works out a little bit better mana-wise for some of the stuff you can do, I think that Sabotage being able to counter Cheville and things like that that we need, or some surprises out the sideboard, is more important. So here, go ahead and crack that so I don't forget. We got the represent Frilled Mystic. I want them to be afraid of it. Vraska, Golgari Queen. Looking at this is an easy Frilled Mystic, and this is one I memorized editing. I was really confused. Not sure why I got confused over this one, or what my line of thinking was, but I decided to sabotage this, and I think that was a mistake, big time. Why I didn't Frilled Mystic there, I have no idea, but this could have cost me a game, and it's a really bad decision on my part. So if you're watching, don't judge. I know it was bad. Sometimes you just do stuff and don't know why. That's me when I play this game. But y'all still love me anyway, right? Like, comment, subscribe. So I'll play a Treacherous Blessing here. They have 2 mana left over. Unfortunately, I gotta let them play it, which sucks because I get to draw 3 cards. However, it's running out of gas here. I have this Nightpack Ambusher I can throw down if need to. Instead, since they got that mana for Mythos held open, I feel like I should probably play this Nightbonder again. Try to bait that removal out if they've got it. So Nightbonder coming down. No lands once again, so we're still stuck at 4. However, I can start swinging with this Nightbonder now, and we actually get them on a pretty good clock. They end up just cycling the Triome, which is cool. So we'll get them down to 14, holding up Frilled Mystic. They should be hurting a lot more because I should have just played. But hey, kind of like what I was saying earlier about holding up that Sinister Sabotage instead of the negate, they have things like Tolstomir on the side. So countering that feels pretty great, so they lose a life and they get countered. Here we draw a land. Swing in, hit him, down to 8. With this mana, we can play Nightpack Ambusher and Brazen Borrower, so we're in a pretty good spot now. Unfortunately, we don't have a counter for this Othakaya, so it's going to come down. Let's see what it targets here. Since it's targeting the Nightpack Ambusher, or the Cunning Nightbonder, I feel like I should probably get my value out of this so far. So I decided to play the Cutthroat now. That way I can still hold up the Ambusher. I could play the Ambusher as well, but in case they have another removal spell, I'd rather wait to end step to do something here. So they play a tap land, pass turn. Go ahead and throw the Nightpack Ambusher again. We don't have counter magic anyways, and even if they have a removal spell for it, we're still swinging 5 and getting them down. Pretty low life total, so. Let's see if they have another removal spell for this Nightpack Ambusher. They're looking at it, and they got it. Now, luckily, they do lose a life, so they're down to 9. We're swinging 6, and off the top is Frilled Mystic. So they're in trouble here now. They put Yorion in the hand. They're desperate. And the desperation pays off for us. Frilled Mystic. Give them the GGs, and it's over. Good game 1 here. Beating up on some Abzan, Yorion, Doom Foretold. And that'll take us up to Platinum 1. Getting close to Diamond now. We've been doing pretty good this season, just climbing a little bit slow because we've not played much, but we've been kind of on the tear. So next game here is against Borbs. Let's see how Borbs does. We'll be on the draw again, as per usual. Opener here, not too shabby. Once again, a little bit awkward with the mana, but this Fabled Passage on turn 1, we just get a blue source, and then we're holding up Cutthroat with Sabotage. If we draw a green source, I mean, if we curve out here, this is a 2, 3, 4, 5 curve, and it's nice. Fabled Passage come down. We'll pass that turn right along. Blues. We got some Sultai. I feel like Sultai is going to be a pretty big part of the meta now. I've seen people putting up results with it in tournaments. They start off with a turn 2 Thought Erasure and take our Nightpack Ambusher. And it's kind of frustrating when they know about your counter spells. It's so much easier for them to play around it, so that feels bad. Here we go ahead and crack the Fabled Passage. Get us an Island. And they already know about all this stuff. We'll just play our forest, pass the turn. We need another green source eventually, but for now we can play everything we need. So they'll play a temple here. End a turn, play the Cutthroat, hope it doesn't get removed. There's that green source we needed. So I've played out all the lands they know of, and now we're holding up Sabotage. We're actually in an okay spot here. Obviously they can play around our counter spells, but it is what it is. So they crack-a-lack old Fabled Passage. Let's see what they got here. So they got the Forest. So they play Pelucranos right into the counterspell, which is kind of terrifying when you're on my spot, because that just means they have something even better and they want you to get rid of that counterspell. Temple of Mystery ain't what we're looking for here, so we'll bottom that. Growth Spiral, not the worst draw, but it could definitely be better. So here we can swing 3, get them down to 15. There is a possibility we can do the Growth Spiral into Quench kind of thing if they play something nice. So they play Nissa. Trying to think of what to do here. Go ahead and Growth Spiral. See if we can possibly draw a Quench instead. Just another Cutthroat. Not the worst thing in the world, but still not what we want to see right here. So Nissa down. Opponents had pretty good curves. Hey, I said curves. Hey. Alright, so they got the Temple of Mystery. Swinging in. I can play Preserver. I can play Cutthroat. I decided to play this Preserver here so that way I can flash something in combat and possibly trick them to get this Nissa down. Or this Nissa dead if they try to block. But instead for now I'm just going to leave it back as a sneaky blocker. So swing in here. Can get Nissa down to 1, but I can't kill it, which is pretty awkward. However, we're still in an okay spot. So I've got this Great Shark. And even though it feels really bad countering a Euro, we have drawn the Center Sabotage they don't know about. So I think having this 5/4 down here that can block is pretty good. Just having a big body that can attack through these land tokens and whatnot is good. So even though it feels bad countering Euro, it's still not a bad move. We have the Sabotage to counter things for later. So they get their island. Have 2 3/3s here. What is the follow-up, friendo? So they shock in. They have 1 more card in hand. Unsure of what it is, but I have counter magic, so that's good. I feel like for here, we just swing in. They can double block one of these, and that feels a little bit bad. But again, not a huge deal. If they double block one of these, that still guarantees that Nissa dies, and I think that's the important thing. So they double block the Great Shark. Not a problem there. It's a little bit frustrating having to lose that, obviously, and leaving up leaving a land behind. But still, we get rid of a land. We get rid of Nissa. We have a 6/5 here. We have a 2/2 that can grow, and we got the Sabotage ready to roll. They don't know about. So they try to play Euro here. Exile the heck out of that graveyard. You get that extra value. We'll play the Wildborn Cutthroat first. We can. Now, I declined that. I should have paid at least a 1. I was looking at my mana wrong there. I had the ability to make that Preserver a 3/3, so I kind of screwed that up. Great Shark off the top. I don't know if many creatures they can have here, but still, I feel like it's better off just to do that. So here, swing with everything. Hold back the Preserver. I don't want to make it super obvious. I'd rather hold it up for counter magic instead. They decided to take it. Snazzy. So they go to 2 here. They're going to need an Ink to Extinction or something like that here to save them. So they attack in. No blocks from me. They take me to 14. They need a pretty big follow-up, and they get it here in Extinction event. However, so all of my things are even, and all theirs are even as well. So even though they're wiping the board here, and that would usually feel pretty good for them, we have this Voracious Great Shark just come down and finish the game. So go ahead. Extinction event me, Padre. So, Great Shark coming up. They play the land. We play the Great Shark. The dead. So, good game 1 here. Beating up on Sultai Midrange, Sultai Ramp. We'll bring in all of our Aether Gust here. Put in 2 disputes for now. It's possible we want the Grafdigger's Cage because they have Pelucranos and Euro, but it just feels kind of bad just for those cards. So, looking at what to take out here. End up taking the Great Sharks out. 5 mana when you're on the draw is just a bit too slow, even though it worked out really well that game. We take out the Preservers because it's just not a card I like that much anyways, and end up shaving back down to just 1 dispute since they ramp up so fast. It feels kind of bad when Nissa's out. So game 2 against Borbs. See how it goes. This opener, not too bad. We have that Aether Gust on 2. It's a little bit slow. I would love to find a Growth Spiral here. Decided to go ahead and keep this Preserver or this Ambusher anyway, since we do have the Aether Gust on 2. That can buy some time to get to our bigger, better spells here. And if they have something like a Thought Erasure and take the Ambusher, we got another one coming right back up. So Ambusher, it's probably the pick here. Instead, Frilled Mystic coming down. So they take the Frilled Mystic, which is a little bit weird. And they put that Pelucranos in the bin, which isn't too bad of a strategy for them. So now I got Aether Gust held up. see what they got here. If they got a Euro, we'd probably guess that. Instead, they Agonizing Remorse. They're trying to get something in the exile, but little did they know we got Ambusher number 2, baby. So their plan was smart there with the Frilled Mystic. However, I don't think it worked out the way they wanted it to. Cunning Nightbonder, pretty fantastic draw. We have a play here if we don't have anything to gust here. We Cunning Nightbonder. Opponent corrects that Fabled Passage. They've already got 4 things in the bin, so they are quickly getting to Plukinos range. Here, they play right into it, and again, this is kind of scary because that means they probably have a Nissa on the other end. But we can't just let that resolve because we can hardly ever attack through that. So we gotta put it on top. And we draw a Quench off the top. We like to see that. So we'll pass the turn here. Still technically holding up this Nightpack Ambusher as well. But if they just try to play the Plukinos again, we now Quench it. So go ahead and play this Nightbonder first. That's down. Now we Quench. Get that out of my sight. Let's go. No fun for you, friend. Now, they are cracking that, so there's a possibility they could have a Mystical Dispute, and that would be pretty rough. Hoping that's not the case, so we're hoping to dodge blue here, and hoping to dodge the Mystical Dispute, which we do. And off the top is an Aether Gust. We love it. We love it. So, go ahead and crack now so I don't forget. Give me another blue source here. We still have the double green here. I want all blue I can just because we get multiple counter spells or something. The green you don't use as much in this deck. So they know about our Ambusher. They don't know about our Aether Gust. Thought you was gonna play Nissa, didn't you? I feel like I care more about keeping the Nissa off the table. So we get this Ambusher down. They can't counter it anyways. Oof, Aether Gust hitting home. Opponent with the nice and the GG. You love to see that. Had all the answers there, so Simic Flash, nice little 2-0. Let's take a look at the deck list one more time. Alright, so overall 2-0 with this list, not too shabby. Simic Flash still doing things in the meta. With Jund Food around, it's probably a rough one if that gets to be a popular deck in the meta, which it seems to be. But against these Yorion matchups and it's a little bit slower, engine-y kind of matchups, Simic Flash seems to have the tools to go and compete with that and do really well. So I think this can be a thing in the meta. Watch out for it. Simic Flash can still be flashing on some folks. Once again, don't forget about the giveaway. Thank you all for the support who subscribed already. To all new subscribers, hello. Play some more stuff soon. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.